Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365 and a new month is upon us. So here's everything I picked up on Blu-ray and 4K in the month of February 2020. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I'll put out videos every single day. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and now Facebook at Movie Guy 365, as well as over at the Disney Magic Hour podcast. I'll put a link for that in the description. Also, if you want to win a chance to get a free Blu-ray 4K combo pack of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, I'm having a giveaway. All you need to do to enter is to be subscribed to my channel, like this video, and hashtag Movie Guy 365 in the comment section of this video or any video between now and March 31st. I will select somebody randomly and announce the winner on April 1st. So good luck. All right, a new month is here. March is finally here. My God, let's get to spring already. So, quite a few things that came out on Blu-ray and 4K in this particular month, and March is going to be no different. There's going to be a lot of stuff. Very much Star Wars product coming out towards the end, but we've got a ton coming out in March. But let's focus on February and everything I picked up on Blu-ray and 4K. All right, let's start with the Blu-ray side, and we're going to go ahead and start with the Criterion release that I picked up this month, and that is going to be Alfonso Cuarón's Roma. I absolutely love this movie. I thought it was amazing. First thing, of course, on Netflix, and I was happy to hear that this movie and other movies like The Irishman and so forth are going to be getting releases on Criterion. So that's great news for not only just us collectors of the physical format, but just like, you know, for posterity's sake, having a physical copy is much better than just some digital version floating around on a streaming service out there. But I love the movie. I thought it was great. This is a fantastic presentation by Criterion, one of the cleanest films I've seen. So kudos to them for doing such a great job. And there's going to be tons more Criterion coming out in the near future. So look for that. So yeah, that one is one of my favorites that was released last year. So I'm very happy to have it. I went and got a few catalog titles this particular month. I did a little fishing. I didn't get so much in January, but one of them, Empire Records. I got this one because A, I like the movie and it's been years since I've seen it, and also my wife has actually never seen this movie. She's like a big, you know, child of the 90s type thing, you know, where anything 90s she loves, and she's never seen Empire Records. So we're going to be rectifying that for her very shortly here. But yeah, come on, what can I say about this movie? It's absolutely classic. I think this was probably one of the most definitive soundtracks of the 90s. As far as the movie goes, it's the best representation of the sound in that time period. I remember how big it was. Like the sound, while the movie may not have been huge, the soundtrack was like well played. It was all over the radio at any given moment. So yeah, absolutely can't wait to share this with her. But yeah, Empire Records. This one was a new release this particular month, and that is 21 Bridges. There's also a 4K digital copy that comes included with this, so if you want to watch it at 4K, which I prefer in all honesty, but having a physical version of the movie is important too. But yeah, 21 Bridges. While I didn't feel it was the strongest movie, it was a good cop drama, and I thought Chadwick Boseman did a great job in the role, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. So it's just one of those movies. It's not great. It's not, you know, bad. It's just it's a good drama, and I'm very partial to cop drama, so I wanted to have this one in my collection. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It could have used a little bit more oomph behind it as far as storytelling wise, but I still enjoyed the film. Okay, Last Christmas, another one I picked up this month. Once again, also a 4K digital copy is available for this one. I liked it. I like Emilia Clarke, Henry Golding, so I was a fan of it. You know, I'm a sucker for good Christmas movies. This is kind of like one of those, you know, Hallmark type of movies in a way, but with bigger celebrities attached to it. It's got good soundtrack, good visuals. It looks really good on the Blu-ray format. And all these movies, by the way, I've done reviews for on the channel. So if you want to check those out, definitely scroll back and look. But yeah, Last Christmas, I recommend it. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's a good Christmas movie. It's not going to be like a modern Christmas classic, but it's something you break out every few years, and I think you'll be happy with how it turned out. This one is one of my personal favorites as far as cheesy movies go. It really didn't do well in theaters, box office, nothing, but I loved it, and I was so happy to hear that was coming out on Blu-ray, and that is Hudson Hawk. I think one of the most underrated films. I think it was marketed terribly when it came out. It made it seem like some action kind of thriller type, and it was really kind of a action comedy. And I think I liked it. There's so many good roles in here. You know, everybody does a good job. Sandra Bernhard is amazing, of course. You know, Andy McDowell. You know, come on, like Danny Aiello. Like, this is a great movie. It's a lot of fun. It's very underrated. And if you go, and I just recently rewatched it, and it holds up for me personally. But yeah, Hudson Hawk, awesome, love it. Now, this one is a movie I didn't see until this year. It came out in 2019, but I think if I had seen it in 2019, this would have probably made my top 20 of that year. And that is Waves. Look, do yourself a favor. Watch this movie. It's really good. It was nothing like I expected. It's beautifully made, beautifully shot, acted. There's so much going on for this one. I would highly recommend you check out Waves. It is absolutely gorgeous on a Blu Ray disc. I also have the 4K digital copy, and it looks stunning. But that's a heavy hitter, and it's so good. I think out of most of the films on this one, it's kind of like, you know, what should I recommend? I would recommend you see this one. If you haven't had a chance, definitely check out Waves. Absolutely great, honestly. The Good Liar also came out, and I liked the film. All right, I did like it a lot. It didn't do the best in box office, but Helen Mirren, Ian McKellen, great chemistry. Those two just lit up the screen. They were great. It's a great spy thriller kind of thing. Well, not spy per se, but it follows along certain lines in that way. I don't want to spoil anything about the movie, but it's really good. It's well shot. Lots of good locations, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. So definitely check that out if you hadn't had a chance. The Good Liar, excellent. This one also was, I had done back in the Super Bowl a video of like top 5 football related movies, and I named this one as one of them. I never owned a copy of this. And then literally like a couple days later during the shopping video, I saw this under a special Best Buy was having. It was like buy 2, you know, or something for 15, 20 bucks or whatever. And I had to have it, and that is Rudy. Yeah, first time ever owning a copy of this. I used to watch it all the time, you know, either cable or VHS. My dad had a copy on VHS, so it's just one of those that for some reason just fell through the cracks. I never owned a copy of this movie, so I'm glad I rectified that. And I think total it only came out for like $5 or $6, so it's a really good deal for this movie. And of course, I don't need to explain Rudy. Everybody's probably seen it, and it's just an awesome film, and I'm glad to finally have it in my collection. And I think this was the other movie, part of that deal, which is Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I remember, like, I'm a huge Desperado fan, and El Mariachi, loved both of them. But I remember when I first saw this one, I was very, like, underwhelmed. I felt it took too much focus away from Antonio Banderas. But then I realized, like, this is an homage to those movies. Like, the Once Upon a Time movies. You know, Once Upon a Time in the West is one of my favorite Westerns of all time. And just Once Upon a Time in America, I mean, just... it felt like it was a perfect fit for that format, and I've grown greatly appreciated a lot more. Johnny Depp's awesome in it, and while I still feel that, you know, Antonio Banderas' El Mariachi could have used a little more screen time, I still appreciate the hell out of this movie, and it was one of those I just gained a greater respect for as I got older. So it's just one of those. But yeah, definitely check that one out, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. And the last Blu-ray is going to be one of my favorite movies. If I had a top 100, it's definitely in the bottom 50 somewhere. But I was first introduced to this movie in grade school. And I think it was like the second musical I've ever seen, and I just loved it. And even back then, before widescreen, before all that stuff, I knew something was off about this movie. You know, because of course they would show it on VHS, would be in pan and scan, which would fill up your whole screen. It's like, even that, like, I had such a discerning eye at that age that when I finally saw it in widescreen, I was like, oh, that makes sense. There's just a particular scene where Marion the librarian is holding, giving something, you know, hiding something, and it's completely cropped off in the pan and scan version. The music, man, epic soundtrack, love the movie. I've owned a copy of this before. But just, you know, way back, old story, but I had to sell most of my collection almost 10 years ago. And it was such an influence on me creatively as a person that I love this movie. Robert Preston, you know, Shirley Jones, just absolutely love this movie. The music, man, I just rewatched it, and just pretty epic. Yeah, definitely check that one out if you haven't had a chance. All right, now that's it for the Blu-ray. Let's talk about the 4K. Okay, so now let's talk about the 4K stuff I picked up, and this is one I just reviewed for the channel, so check that out in the last couple of days. And that is Nicolas Cage in Color Out of Space. I like, you know, the whole lore of Lovecraftian, H.P. Lovecraft. I'm a big fan of it. I don't think it's really represented, you know, to a great degree on film. And whenever I do get a chance to watch one, and of course Nicolas Cage is almost a no-brainer at this point, that I very much enjoyed the movie is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, just a fair warning, and I said this in the review, that this movie, if you're a 4K fan, does not include an HDR grading. So it's just standard native 4K. It looks really good, don't get me wrong. It's a fantastic image, but it does miss that pop. But yeah, absolutely like this movie a lot. It's really good. Just a quirky kind of tale in that vein. It doesn't go too far crazy. I've actually seen, you know, there are movies out there that really just, you know, like if you've seen your Cronenberg stuff and so forth, I feel did it a little stronger in that respect. Even John Carpenter stuff, you know, like The Thing. This one, it definitely touches on those aspects, and it's a really good tale, and I'm hearing there's going to be making sequels to it. So, well, not sequels, but like Dunwich Horrors and all that are going to be coming to the screen. So I'm anxious to check those out. But yeah, definitely check out Color Out of Space. I highly recommend that one. This one, of course, just also came out, Knives Out. This is the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook version of that. Definitely check out the video if you want to see the little Easter egg about this particular Steelbook and slipcover. You know, you get that little extra thing here. I'm not going to spoil it here, but yeah, definitely check that out. Knives Out. I enjoyed this a lot. I know Rand Johnson's very divisive, and it could be, you know, and I understand why. I do get it, and I actually share a lot of those sentiments. But I enjoyed the movie a lot. The cast is phenomenal, and it's a really good whodunit, modern take on that version. It's very much Agatha Christie, you know, in that vein. So I enjoyed the performances. Everything looked good, and it was a really good buy. But definitely check out my video if you want to hear my impressions on the 4K and the Steelbook. Another coming out this month was Midway, and once again, Steelbook edition for that one. A lot of people ask me if I liked it. It's a popcorn war movie. It's not very deep. It's not going to win any authenticity awards, but it's fine. It's fine. It actually has a rocking soundtrack. It's absolutely awesome Atmos mix. It's pretty phenomenal. But if you haven't had a chance, I recommend, you know, trying it out. I think it's worth your time. It's not per se empty calories kind of a movie, but don't go in expecting, like, you know, authenticity. I think you're just going to have to go along for the ride and be okay with that. But yeah, check out Midway, and it's a cool looking Steelbook. One of my favorite movies of 2019 came out this month, and that is Taika Waititi's directing Jojo Rabbit. I really could talk about this one in a whole video, but absolutely check this one out. It's funny, it's heartbreaking, it's got a lot of emotional pull, and it's a really well-made film by Taika Waititi. He's really become one of my favorite directors in the last couple of years. And, you know, if his name's attached to it, I'm interested automatically. I just rewatched What We Do in the Shadows again, both the movie and the TV show. God, it's so good. Check it out if you can. But yeah, absolutely, Jojo Rabbit, highest recommendation, and it's a really good-looking 4K disc. Re-release, well, it's not a re-release. A release that it came out over in the UK about a year or so ago, but it just came here, and that is going to be Shutter Island in 4K, nice looking Steelbook, readily available at, you know, your retailers. And, you know, I feel one of Martin Scorsese's underrated. Like, when you think of his body of work, it's really kind of underrated, and I never understood why. It's really great performances. DiCaprio is awesome in it, and I think it's masterfully directed and one of his better films. So yeah, absolutely, that is a good looking 4K disc. It is absolutely a recommendation, so check that one out. And I just rewatched and reviewed this one, and that is The Hunt for Red October, the first single release of the Jack Ryan stuff. Now that collection has been out for over a year and a half, maybe 2 years now. So yeah, they're starting to release the individuals, which I'm a big fan of individuals. I don't like box sets necessarily. If I can avoid them, I will. So I was very happy to get my hands on Hunt for Red October. It looks great. Just very good presentation overall on the 4K. And this was another one of my favorite movies of last year, and that is Ford versus Ferrari. I love the Steelbook. I was a little lukewarm on the design at first, but it's really grown on me. I think it's beautiful, and it's a great movie. It's one of James Mangold's better films, and it's got Bale and Matt Damon are just phenomenal. They look their parts and are fantastic performances. awesome movie. Absolutely check out Ford versus Ferrari. And also the audio mix is probably almost second to none at this point. It's definitely a contender for best audio mix of 2020. We'll, you know, jump off that bridge at the end of the year, but yeah, that's really kind of a strong contender right there. Tom Hanks in A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, also on 4K. I liked it. I'm glad they kind of went more with, like, it's not a complete focus on Mr. Rogers. They just did a documentary. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, definitely do so. That really does more than enough. I would have hated to seen a fictionalized version of that documentary, and I'm glad they didn't do it. Like, he's a supporting character. He's not really like the main focus. It's more about another character, his family, and his issues that are going on with his life. And then Fred Rogers is kind of more a influence and part of the movie. But it's really beautifully well-made movie. Definitely check that one out. Tom Hanks is awesome as always. So yeah, Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood on 4K. This one, I was very surprised to hear was getting a 4K edition, and this was going to be a day one no matter what, and that is Boys in the Hood. I can't say I'm overly loving the steelbook cover on this one, but this was the only one available at the retailers during that week. But the transfer, the way it looks and sounds, it looks like you just saw it in the theater. It's beautifully rendered. Everything looks great. The 4K is amazing, and Dolby Vision looks great on this disc. So definitely check out Boys in the Hood if you get a chance. Just one of the best, and it looks fantastic. Another recent release is Frozen 2 in beautiful steelbook form. I kind of liked all the exclusives on Frozen 2, to be honest. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. It looks beautiful. It's fantastic. HDR is really nice. And it's an overall epic presentation by Disney. They did a great job here. Audio is a little on the weak side, of course, per Disney's usual standards, but it's still a great, I still like the first one a little bit more as far as the movie goes, but I love the expansion of the world in this movie, and I think it works more often than it doesn't, and it's really awesome. Definitely check that one out. And finally, one of my favorite movies of 2019, Dr. Sleep. Honestly, I could spend another video talking about this one. Now, just be aware that this does include the Blu Ray 4K, but the 4K only has the theatrical cuts. If you want to watch the director's cut, which in my opinion is the preferred version, you're going to either watch the Blu Ray disc or you have to watch the digital version. It comes with a digital code which includes that version. So if you want the 4K director's cut, you're going to have to see it digitally. Wow, this movie this is definitely one of those director's cuts that really fills in the gaps, really makes the movie so much better. It flows a lot smoother. And I liked it a lot already in 2019. It was one of my top 20, and it's such a good movie. It's a better movie on the director's cut. But yeah, the 4K looks phenomenal. I love the steelbook. I think it's a great presentation. Overall, it's a very good disc. So definitely, please, if you're a fan of The Shining in any way, shape, or form, definitely watch it on Dr. Sleep, because it is that good. And I think Rebecca Ferguson honestly should have been recognized in some way. She's one of the best villains of that year. So yeah, Rose the Hat, awesome. But yeah, that's it for my haul of Blu Ray and 4K for February 2020. Let me know in the comments below some of the stuff that you picked up. Let's talk about it. And let's get ready for March, because March is, even this week coming up is kind of suck. It's going to be a lot of stuff. So let me know in the comments below what you picked up in this particular month. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. I'll put out videos every single day. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.